Whoa, man.
Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. It's good to be back. We're gonna do a full 2-round mock draft. Nets are gonna make an interesting trade up. Me and Dylan talked a little bit off air about what we want to do, but I'm gonna let Dylan take it away. This is your forte, Dylan. You're the draft guru. You know this stuff better than anybody. So hop on.
Let's get into
I
it.
got
Man.
it pulled up and.
Yeah, so here, real quickly, click on X for the Join USAA insurance today.
It's
a great insurance, but
we
we're not
gotta
going to
pay the bills. Yeah,
yeah. So we're going to do full draft MBA. Yeah, everything's perfect. So click
good.
start draft.
Start the draft.
Yep, we're going to get right into it. So there's no explanations needed anymore. Cooper Flag, number 1. And we're going to do Dylan Harper, number 2. We're going to have San Antonio stick and pick. I know that we were debating. Yeah.
Let's spend like 10 seconds on that. Okay. Because I think, to me, it makes the most sense for San Antonio to just sit there and keep him and then figure out what to do with Castle and Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I agree.
Then you would have those two guys on the same timeline. You would have Wemby and Harper on the same timeline. But I don't think San Antonio is going to do that. I don't think unless they think that Harper is ready to be an impact, high-level player immediately.
See, I think if I'm San Antonio, I'm selecting Harper. I'm holding him hostage. You want him, overpay for him. If you don't, then we'll take Giannis, but you're going to take a little bit less back in draft compensation if you want Stephon Castle. That's how that works for me, right? Because I don't see where it works playing Fox, Harper, and Castle all together in the same lineup. It's just it's a bunch of 6'6" guys and under. Small ball doesn't work in the playoffs. It's been proven time after time. So to me, that's not like a serious contender. And realistically, you would be playing with 2 win now windows by adding Giannis. You would have the Giannis and Fox window, which could be your 4 or 5 years, and after that, you'll have your Wemby Harper win now era.
But it does work in the playoffs is Freak and Wemby. That would work in the playoffs, right?
That murders the West. That murders the West. The Warriors get swept 1,000%. Like they don't have a single guy above 6'9" on their roster.
That's why they got to bring Claxton in, which we'll get to.
They get decimated by the Spurs if they add Giannis. The Lakers, as of right now, with the way their roster currently stands, same thing. They get decimated. Denver, I mean, when you're playing with Harper and Fox up front, and it's just Jamal Murray up there for them, that makes their backcourt more interesting. I think if they add Giannis, they're immediately my title favorite coming out of the West. So, but yeah, I think if they're smart,
I would agree with you.
Castle, I think it's just the smart thing to do. You can't play Harper and Castle together. It's gonna stunt both of their developments. You know.
So, I mean, you would agree that Harper has higher upside than Castle. No disrespect to Castle, but Harper's got way higher upside than Castle, right?
1,000%.
So
it's not even close. Like Stephon Castle's a great player, and I have him as a guy who could be like a third option star in this league. Harper beats that with ease.
I agree.
He's got superstar potential.
If they want to move Castle, let's say they want to keep Harper and they're going to move Castle, would Brooklyn be a potential landing spot for him?
For who?
For Castle.
No. The only way that if San Antonio takes Harper, your only bargaining chip from there moving forward is a shit ton of picks and Castle, right? If you decide to move on from the second pick, you get to keep Castle. You probably have to give up less draft compensation, but you still have to give up, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sochan, Keldon Johnson. Like you still have to give up pieces to get that done.
What if we took Barnes' contract and Castle and a pick for Cam and a pick swap, right? So we took.
No, they definitely won't move Castle for anything outside of Giannis. I think that's where the bargaining chip is going to be.
Yeah, they got to move him to. Yeah, it's got to be involved in the Giannis.
I mean, unless if the Nets give up the 8th pick and Cam Johnson for Castle, that's probably the only thing that even remotely puts
I'm not doing that.
Land him. No, he's not worth that. So yeah, it's just not going to happen. I definitely do think they stick and pick though. I don't think a Giannis trade can be properly made on draft night. I don't see it happening.
All right, you ready to start? You ready
Yeah,
to
let's
go?
do it.
Oh,
So,
we
so
just did.
Dylan Harper.
We already started. Dylan Harper to
Yeah, let's go
sit.
Harper 2, and then we'll go Ace number 3 for this one. I
And they're gonna
do
keep
still
this
like
pick
a
too.
trade up, but not for
Yeah,
us. Meaning,
let's spend 2 minutes on this too, because I got a friend who's a Sixers fan, and
fuck. Alex just said Yaxel Lendenberg staying in college. You son of a bitch.
why would he stay in college?
This dude's an idiot, man.
Well, they're getting paid
That's a
now. How much
huge
is he getting
piece off
paid?
the board.
Let me look. I want to ask this question about what is Philly. If they're drafting Ace, and I like Ace, but Ace is not ready to be a contributing NBA player. And it may be 3 years until he is. And I don't mean that to disrespect him. I always use the McGrady analogy.
Mhm.
If that's the goal, what do you do with Embiid, right? Because if you're saying I'm going to sit and pick with Ace Bailey at 3, you're no longer looking to compete, correct?
Yeah.
You're looking to rebuild. So now I can't live in a world where I'm trying to build and Ace Bailey up, and I also have Embiid on my team. Like those two things can't coexist. It's one or the other, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's.
So then, what do they do with Embiid?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? I think you use Ace as a development year, as a mentorship, but with Paul George, and if it doesn't work out between George and Embiid next year, you move them in the offseason. You know, you
So you do
reset
this
around
one more-
Maxey and Ace.
You do this one more year with Embiid.
You kind of have to.
He's going to lose
really-
all of his. He's going to get hurt again. He's going to play 37
Probably.
games, and he's going to lose all of his trade value.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
So you got to do this now.
I don't think he has any trade value right now. I mean, you're talking about a guy who won MVP 2 years ago, who now is probably worth no more than 2 first-round picks. Like, really, I wouldn't give up more than 2 first-round picks and a couple of salary fillers for him. He's injury prone and he's not good. He is a fat, free throw merchant, 7-foot big man. It doesn't move me.
Let me ask you this question. I'm looking at the Knicks. If
Mhm.
you're the Knicks, would you do this trade? 2 1s. You got a 2016, and you have I think it's a 2018 or a 2019. That's what you got left. 20.
Well, we're in
2018.
2025, so I don't think there's picks from 10 years ago on the board.
2020. 2026. Did I say
One of those
2016?
mornings.
Wow, it is 2026 and it's 2028. I think it's 2028, 2029. They got 2
Let
first
me
round
check
picks left.
for you. They may be swaps though. That's the problem because I feel like they don't have a lot of picks.
They got their pick next year.
How the fuck did they pull off that trade with us without?
They had
giving
a
us their
ton of
pick
draft
next year?
capital. They had crazy draft capital. A 2026, a 2028.
Yeah, they have.
well-
Yeah, they have a. Well, the 2028 pick that they have is swap rights with us. So if say they're the worst team than us,
Yeah.
we get to have their pick. They'll take our pick. They have their own 2026 pick. They have a top 10 protected Washington 2026 pick, so they likely won't be getting that pick. And
Right.
they also have a 2030 pick, which will be eligible to be swapped, as well as a 2032 pick that will generate.
Can they
after draft
trade
night.
the swap rights to our pick? Can they trade that?
No, because they don't have the swap rights. Brooklyn has the swap rights,
Okay.
right? So if that's to
Yeah.
happen, then I'm pretty sure there's a way that Brooklyn has to get involved to figure that out. But
So
no,
they
I
only
don't.
have a 20. The foreseeable future, 26 to 29, they only have a 26 pick, right?
Yeah, realistically.
Okay. And so a 2026, a 2030, OG, and Bridges. Is that a trade that Philly would? They don't have it. They don't have a package for it. OG and Bridges, a 2026 pick and a 2030 pick.
I think that still hurts your development for Ace. It's 2 wings.
Oh, you're
Realistically,
right.
I don't think the
from a
Knicks are the
personnel
team
reason
to
it
do
does. Yeah.
Embiid. Yeah, I don't think the Knicks are the team to do Embiid.
If you're gonna trade for Embiid, you got to be on a real short window. Golden State doesn't have a package for him though. Like, is there a
second apron?
Yeah,
match,
second
so they'll
apron
have no
team.
chance.
Like, I can't even think of a team that would want to trade for him.
I mean,
You have to be on a real short window.
The only team that I could probably see having a realistic opportunity at him, maybe a team like Detroit. It's crazy to say, but it makes sense. Miami is a team that he's mentioned a lot in his past. Meaning,
does Detroit think they can win a championship if they get him? You know what I'm saying? Like,
realistically, who do you think really believes in Embiid to bring you to a championship? The guy hasn't made it out of the second round of the playoffs in his entire career.
then why is a young team on the rise like Detroit? Why would they trade for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's not,
Because
if
they
we
have
don't
the
believe,
package to get it done.
but
Realistically,
he's not
I
going to
mean,
help us win a championship.
if you packaged up Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris, plus a young player you can maybe throw in like Bobby Klintman or something, or they have guys in there, but realistically, if you threw in a little package like that with 2-3 first-round picks, which they have picks, it gets you your guy while keeping you your depth. I mean, Cade would be your number one at this point in Embiid's career. He's kind of shifting to that second option. Maybe it keeps him healthier, but it doesn't not make sense with Detroit.
I feel like if you're Detroit, I can lose in the second round with or without Embiid. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Like, so I don't know. It does seem like a Detroit move.
Yeah.
I'll put Detroit on a. If I was Detroit, I wouldn't make that trade, but I could see them making it.
Shout out Pete. Leave a like, or we're getting Concanaple. Not my words.
Con Knipple it is. At least it's not Trey Johnson. You said you'd rather have Con Knipple than Trey Johnson, right?
I would.
I don't really care. At that point, I'm just gonna be so. If it's
Trey
either
Johnson,
one of them, I'm just gonna be so pissed. I'm just
Trey
gonna
Johnson
be pissed.
and Kasparis Yakuchonis are the two players in the lottery projected players that I just do not like. I have no desire to take them. Cannot stand them. I think they are poor upside players. Let's get back into the draft.
All right, let's get back into the draft. Yeah.
VJ has come at 4.
4.
I think this is just a solidified top 4, and this is where Nets fans get their hearts broken. I'm going to have Utah select Jeremiah Fears. I truly believe that this is what ends up happening.
Yep.
Sucks to say, but this is what happens when you fuck around and find out with the lottery. So, they're kind of in need of just the best available upside player possible, especially after getting shafted in the lottery as well, meaning Utah. So to me, take the biggest swing, go grab your guy, and I think that's Jeremiah Fears. I don't think he falls past 7. So I don't think the Nets realistically have a chance at him regardless. But yeah, shit happens. So what is this, Washington?
Washington at 6.
Like a part of
they're taking Queen. I know they're taking Queen. They're keeping him home. He's staying in Maryland.
And that's my thing, right? Like realistically, I do not see this being a Trey Johnson destination. But again, does Washington just go with the highest upside player? I don't see New Orleans
taking Queen.
I don't see New Orleans taking Trey Johnson over Con Knepel or Kamal Maluak. So it's like, does that really put Brooklyn in a position to get Trey Johnson or pass on him?
To be fair to Mark, Trey Johnson, a one-dimensional bucket getter, does not strike me as a Sean Marks. I could be wrong. I just don't.
He drafted Nick Claxton. He's a one-dimensional defensive player who can barely.
He drafted him in the second round. He's drafted him in the second round though, not 8 overall.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I think it's tough
to me. This pick is Queen. I really believe that they're taking Queen.
I don't know. It's tough because realistically, right, and how I see the board falling, Thomas Sorber should be available at 18. And that's the pick right before Brooklyn, right? So that's why I'm more so thinking, do they swing with the highest upside player in Johnson? And that's what I'm going to do.
Highest upside player here, Maluak. Like if I said one of these two guys are going to be an all NBA caliber player, Maluak or Johnson.
Yeah, Maluak probably is the higher upside player.
Yeah.
But just in terms of the offensive ability, it's by far Trey Johnson.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go Trey. I'm not going to overthink it. If he's there at 6, you kind of just have to.
If it was the Nets at 6, and those 3 guys and Knepel, we'll put them in the mix. All 4 guys are on the board there.
I'm taking anybody not named Trey Johnson.
I'm taking Maluak if it's my pick.
All right, New Orleans here. This could be Knepel or Queen. It's a bit difficult to kind of put an exact answer on it. It just depends on the type of big man that they want. Do they want a more offensive big that can play that Sengun-like role, or do they want a bruiser down low who's highly efficient and can space the floor like a Miles Turner, Clint Capella combo type of player? To me, I think Queen is likely the pick here. I've heard a lot of rumors that New Orleans really likes Queen and Knepel. So if they have the choice of the two, you have CJ on an expiring contract or a player option deal, whatever it is that he has. So I think Derek Queen is the guy for you right there.
I think, yeah. It's between Queen and Maluak. I would agree it's probably Queen.
Yeah. Just in terms of who's more NBA ready.
And I don't want Queen to go to the Nets because I don't want to order a jersey with Queen on the back. That's kind of gay. Like, so I promise you, Rudy Gay had the worst selling jersey in the NBA.
No, some people would probably love it. Yeah, no, I think that's just when you have the opportunity to pick between Maluak, Queen, or Knepel as an organization that likes all three, meaning New Orleans, it's kind of just like a pick your poison type of thing. So I think Queen is a really good fit for them, though, especially with how he's able to, put the ball on the floor offensively, the way that he utilizes his game. It kind of puts you in a better position to use Zion as a post-up player down low, with Queen being your guy that could, play make out of the post or actually move out and space the floor a little bit. So I think it's a really fitting pick for them. And now we got us.
The losers. The Brooklyn losers are up. This is what you do. This is what you get. Thanks NBA for hooking us up with the 8th pick in the draft. This is what we have to settle with. We got Maluak, Knepel, Carter Bryant, Igor Demon at the top of the board.
Christ.
This is what you got to settle with. To me, this is a no-brainer. But I'll let you be the GM here.
Yeah, and I may shock a lot of people here with my pick. I'm thinking about it because I'm trying to think about how the rest of the draft board is going to look. Right? Are we trading up to 11 with Portland? Or are we trading up to 14 with San Antonio? That's a huge difference. Let
me be the other side of the continents here. Mm-hmm. Who's got the highest upside? If there's one guy on this list who you could
foresee being Maluak.
Okay, let's do that.
Well, hold on here, because that's the thing, right? You have the 19th pick. You have the ability to trade up, right? Cam Johnson's going to be the guy that I trade up with. It's going to happen. So whoever commented it earlier while we were backstage waiting, it's going to happen again. But what I'm trying to figure out here is, so if you have the opportunity, Fears is off the board. That was your guy. He's gone. Queen's off the board. You have one big man available in terms of incredibly high upside, right? Sorber is still available down there, but will he be there at 19? That's probably the range you want to take him. Likely not. So that puts you in a position where you probably want to take the big. But you also have a guy.
You want to trade up for Sorber. You want to trade up for Sorber.
No, I'm more so. So let me play out how I'm looking at the scenario currently. Likely going to trade up with San Antonio at 14. I think it's the most realistic option. I think Cam Johnson in the 27th pick for Keldon Johnson in the 14th pick. It just makes a lot of sense. You have 3 top 19 picks at that point. What I'm trying to figure out is Noah Senge available at 14? Is a guy like Carter Bryant available at 14? Igor Demon is now the best point guard on the board. Is he available at 14? That's what I'm trying to figure out, right? Because I want to take a bigger point guard with the first pick. The second pick is the same thing. I want to take a wing or a point guard or a big, whichever is best available. But if I pass on Maluak here, is Sorber available at 19? That's the only problem. And I wouldn't take Sorber at 14. So it's tough. Yeah, man. I guess, you know what? Go.
Let me explain to you my line of thinking. Let me explain my line of thinking. If I take the big man here, Maluak, I can trade up at 14 and take Igor at 14. Now I have a 7-2.
I don't think Igor is going to be available.
At 14?
I think Houston's going to snag him up at 10 potentially. I got Knepel going to Toronto or Houston again at 9 or 10, so he won't be available at 14. I've got Igor likely being taken at 13, right before San Antonio, with Atlanta, if I had or Houston at 10. And then Maluak, of course, he's the next pick if you don't take him here. Carter Bryant, I usually have going to Chicago or Portland, so that's 11 or 12, so he's off the board. Same thing vice versa with Noah Senge. I usually have him going 11 or 12 with Portland or Chicago. So that's where that's where the problem comes in, right? If you're going to trade up for this pick, you have to know the guy that you're getting, and one of those guys has to fall. So
I'm gonna let you make the pick, but I'm just giving you my 2 cents.
for this sake, go Maluak. We'll go
All
with the
right.
highest upside. I think
I was
there's
about to riot. I was about to.
I think that there's good enough center or I'm sorry, point guard depth in this draft to where you can find something at 19 or 26. So we'll rock with that. For what is this, Toronto? Give him Khan. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And see, actually, you know what? And now here's where it gets interesting, actually, because Giannis and KD both have been mentioned as guys who may not even be traded this offseason, right? And if both of them aren't moved, the best available guy is Cam Johnson. Does Houston look to go after him, or do they take a position of need in Colin Murray Boyles, right? A defensive bruiser down low at the power forward position. It puts them in a better position for when they want to make a big deal, whether that be at the deadline or next offseason. I don't hate the Murray Boyles pick at 10. I mean, what do you think? Like, do you think that Houston would be willing to do another? Like, realistically, we gave up a premium for them to get this pick. Do they really call back with Sean Marks and say, hey, you know what? Here's your pick back. Just give us Cam Johnson. I don't think Cam Johnson's value is a 10th overall pick.
No, it would have to be Cam Johnson 19
or 10, and you also have to throw in salary fillers. So I think the Houston deal is a bit more complicated than some expect. So I'm going to stick and pick.
So that is it Carter Bryant or is it Colin Murray Boyles?
And that's the problem, right? Colin Murray Boyles is by far the better fit under an Ime Udoka.
Is he? I know he's 6'7". Is he? I mean,
he's
he
like
can't
a
play
Draymond.
the 3. He's got to be a 4, right?
He's like a Draymond. That's really what he is. He's just a defensive bruiser down low with better touch and feel in terms of his offensive post game. And that's kind of what I feel like Houston needs.
Carter Bryant, to me, can be a guy that can be Defensive Player of the Year, right? Like, he can guard 2, 3, 4, right? Hyper athletic. He
Carter
can
likely
doesn't steals and get a bunch of blocks. Like,
Carter
Bryant is the steal of the draft here.
Yeah, but Carter likely gets the Cam Whitmore treatment in Houston. Young, high upside player that really doesn't have a need or fit in his role currently. And I think that's kind of a wasted
for Carter Bryant. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Right? Colin Murray Boyles is a sophomore, right? So he has a little bit of experience. He's NBA ready. I think Murray Boyles to me would have been selected at 14 by San Antonio if they were to stick and pick, right? For us in this scenario, if Boyles gets taken, that now leaves the window open more for San Antonio to trade that pick. And I think that's kind of the route that I'm leaning. So let's go Colin Murray Boyles here at 10. That's Carter Bryant. No.
Oh. No.
Click continue and then scroll up to undo.
Yeah.
Man was on a mission.
Undo previous pick.
To
me, Carter Bryant is the steal of the draft.
I agree. I think he has the highest upside outside of the top 10 by far.
I don't think the Nets are going to take him at 8. I don't think he'll last to 19, so I don't think the Nets end up with him.
Us taking him at 8 would be like Charlotte last year taking Tajon Saloon at 7, which is not a bad pick.
It's not bad, but last year's draft sucked. So who am I really
when you see it happen, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But he has incredibly high upside. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. All right, 11 and Portland. This has to be Carter Bryant.
Yeah. Well, okay, is Carter Bryant a 3 or a 4? Or, I mean, is he some kind of
he's a hybrid. He's a hybrid. He's like kind of like a more upside version of Herb Jones to me. Like, he's got that high defensive upside, but he's also got a body and frame that is built like Kawhi. It's an interesting build that he's got. He's definitely got some tangibles to his game that have a tremendous amount of upside. So Chicago at 12. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird pick, right? Igor realistically shouldn't be on the board at this point with how he's risen up draft boards, but I don't see Chicago not getting Giddey back, right? And they're practically the same player.
Yeah.
So to me, you're going to have to go Noah Asenge here.
I
which
agree. Yeah.
absolutely kills what Brooklyn's looking for. But you may be getting your hidden gem here because I actually think Atlanta would prefer Kasparas Giacochonis over Igor. And the only reason I say that is Giacochonis can play the 1 and the 2, but he's also a more reliable floor spacer and fit next to a Trae Young than Igor is, right? With Trae Young, the ball needs to be in his hands. Igor, he's a high caliber upside playmaker who needs the ball in his hands. Realistically, Giacochonis can play off ball and space the floor. I think Giacochonis at 13 actually makes a ton of sense. So Brooklyn gets their guy. We're going to trade up here to 14 with San Antonio. It'll be Cam Johnson in the 27th overall pick. Yep. And then the Nets get the 14th overall pick. Realistically, you can say that the Nets maybe have to throw in a future, maybe a couple of future seconds, whatever the case may be. But the baseline to the deal would be the 14th overall pick and Keldon Johnson to Brooklyn for the 27th overall pick and Cam Johnson. Whatever minor details need to be made in between there can be made. But I think this is the baseline to a deal that you can say. And yeah, go get your guy. You just got a 6'9" point guard and a 7'2" center. This is the most unethical Sean Marks draft you'll ever see in your life.
So we compare Igor at the point and put Cam at the 2, and he can kind of cover the defensive inadequacies of Cam, which is why I like this pick.
I mean, to me, Igor, and I just put it out the other day because when I first started talking about Igor at the beginning of the college basketball season, before a college basketball game was even played, I had said I felt Igor had the potential to be a top 5 pick in this draft. I have the tweet saved. I have it all. I reposted one the other day. Like, this guy was the real deal. I felt that if there was one guy that I saw who was not projected top 10 that I felt could catapult their way into the top 5 conversation, I had it as Igor. And he did that. The first month of the college basketball season, he was projected 4th, right behind Harper and Ace, right? So this is a guy with incredibly high upside. The fact that you could potentially get him between 10 through 14 is very, very impressive. So to me, with the playmaking upside that he has and the way that he shot the basketball in terms of floor spacing at the combine, he is now, to me, considered one of the highest upside players at the point guard position, right? I think the way that I would put it, Harper fears Igor. I truly think that those are the 3 best point guards in this draft class. So
yeah,
it's if you can land him and Maluak, that is one of the best drafts you'll see probably in Nets history. That is a lot of upside. It's a lot of versatility. It's a lot of length, pause, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I think that sets you up very, very well for that 19th overall pick now.
We've got 19 and 26 left. Would you look to package those and try to move up again? Because I'm looking at Rasheer Fleming. Is there a possibility that we can trade with someone? We can package 19 and 27 and move up to get Fleming?
Nah, I mean, you could, but I don't find it feasible nor realistic because 3 top 15 players, you're paying a lot of money to 3 rookies at that point. I think what more so happens is you make your aggressive move up, you stick and pick at 19, and you likely move that late first round pick to a team like Denver, Portland, New Orleans, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
You give up that pick in terms of consolidating the pick, and you just select a guy in the second round. So that's kind of the baseline that I'm seeing is 4 picks.
So hypothetically, the Cam Johnson trade up 8, 19, and then the 36 pick, and then are we trading 26 for a player, or are we trading him for a future pick?
Just future picks. I like the Denver one that I cooked up the other day, which was a 2030 swap.
I want to pick it next year. Is there a way that we can trade 26?
I doubt it. I mean, unless it's
next year's draft.
I mean, unless of a team that's in the conference finals right now wants to do that, but I don't see OKC needing to add more draft capital. It just doesn't make sense.
What about the
Minnesota?
Knicks?
I don't even know if they have draft capital. The Knicks are never going to work with us again. And Indiana, their pick is top 4 protected with a different team right now, I think. I think it's Indiana, actually. I'm not sure.
All right.
But yeah, I don't see another 2020. I mean,
what about
the only
the
way that you're going to get that.
Are the Clippers still looking to compete? They got to be, right?
they have the 30th pick, so realistically, do they move up 4 spots? I don't think so. I think they just stick and pick right now. The only teams
right.
if you click on trade pick, who are the teams that don't have picks in this year's draft or have no longer or don't have any picks for the remainder of the draft?
Where the hell's it? Where the hell's the trade pick thing? Here it is.
So yeah, if you scroll all the way down, Portland's out for the remainder of the draft. Dallas is out for the remainder of the draft. I mean, Dallas and Denver make a ton of sense. You know.
What if I did this? What if I did this with Portland? I'll give you 27, and I don't know if Portland has a pick next year. Let's assume Portland has a pick next year. I'll give you 27 and 36, and you give me your next year's first.
Definitely not.
Well, if
I don't think you're moving.
Why not?
I don't think you're moving a pick that'll likely be top 18 next year
for
a borderline second round pick and a second round pick. It just doesn't make sense. You know.
Portland thinks they can win. I'll get you one more piece this year on a rookie deal. You can compete this year.
I'm not seeing the vision, man. I don't know. It's just, to me, that Portland's got to play things very smart moving forward. I mean, Dallas does have a 2029 Lakers first round pick. It's intriguing. We'll figure it out once we get there.
I'm really trying to get back.
I was gonna say,
I'm really trying to get back into next year's draft class.
We'll figure out a way to make something work. But we definitely got to keep this moving because we're only 14 picks in 30 minutes. That may be our record.
That's not great. That's not a great ratio.
We got to start moving. All right. Let's see. OKC at 15. Yeah, this has got to be Rasheer Fleming for me. Has to be. He's quite literally just a Naz Reid with a more length and versatility to his game. Orlando at 16. I still like Jace Richardson here.
Yeah,
I do. Sure. He has that CJ McCollum like style of play where he can play the 1, he can play the 2, but he can play off the ball and space the floor. I think that's a perfect fit for them. They need shooting badly. Let's see. Minnesota at 17. It's hard to say, right? Because, again, logically, the upperclassmen tend to fall. Do they take Nick Clifford here, or do they go with the high upside player in Asa Noel, who could be your Naz Reid replacement if he decides to leave? Like, kind of like a 50-50, right? I think for me personally,
you wouldn't look at Liam McNeely here, shooter?
Add Liam McNeely to the conversation of Kasparis Jakučionis and Trey Johnson in terms of players that I absolutely cannot stand.
Agreed.
Like, I'm just not high on him whatsoever. I think he's just a lesser Joe Harris.
Yeah. I don't want to meet. I'm just asking if Minnesota would want to add a shooter there.
He does make sense. I mean, I could see Will Riley go as high as this, if I'm being honest. And Will Riley makes a ton of sense for them. But at that point, do you I mean, Cedric Coward also makes sense. I can't lie. Jesus Christ, this is tough. I'm going to keep it realistic. I'm going to go with what I think has a very high chance of happening. Go Will Riley here. Kind of kills me for what I wanted to do, but fuck it. Keep it realistic. Will Riley at 17. At 18, this is going to be Sorber. Good thing the Nets got their big. And then
who did we take with 6 for them? We took
Malawak at 8, Demon at
at 6
Washington, Trey Johnson.
Oh, Trey Johnson. Okay. Yeah.
Pretty solid draft.
Yeah.
All right, Brooklyn's back up. And here's the question, right? Do they take another upside swing, or do they go with a guy who's rising up draft boards and absolutely he is a specimen in terms of his build.
You've gone with all the guys I've wanted. Can we go with all the guys? You know who I want. You know who I would take here. You know who I like.
I am passing on Asa Noel here. I am passing on Asa Noel.
I guess I got 2 out of 3. I guess I can't complain.
I was going to say it's much better than previous, right? So we'll take the improvements. I did this mock draft last night. I don't know if it's the exact picks. Let me check. Let's see. All right, Twitter's being a fucking moron right now, so that's always fun. Yeah, I mean, it's practically the same draft that I'm doing right now. So take Cedric Coward. Learn the name. 6'6", 6'7" player with like a 7-foot wingspan. I'm pretty sure he's an immediate plug in and play type of guy. Highly efficient, can space the floor, high motor defender. It's really everything that Jordy wants.
The rest of the draft went my way, but if we pass on my boy Asa Noel for some guy, I've never even heard of him. I don't know who that is, other than this mock draft. I don't know who that is.
Learn the name, man. He's a good player. Like realistically, I'm adding him into my like 4 guys that I would have taken with my upperclassmen picks. Right? It was Yaxel, Rasheer Fleming, Ado Thiaro, and now him. Right? Yaxel's gone, so it's really just 3 upperclassmen that I would take. Cedric won't be there at 26, and we're probably trading 26. So yeah, I think it makes a ton of sense, realistically.
Asa Noel is the one guy I can't see going to Miami that's on the top of this board.
No, I think this is more Liam McNeely.
McNeely. Yeah, I could see any of these, so I just can't see Noel. So you want to go with McNeely here?
Yeah, let's go McNeely here. I don't think he falls any further, and I think Miami loves their white shooters. So
yeah, they do.
He fits the mold, which also kills Utah's mold. So funny how that works. Let's see. Yeah, this has to be Asa Noel here. Go with, again, just continue to build that highest upside. You already got your point guard of the future. Go ahead and grab your big. And this is where I kind of like Nick Clifford. Sorry, I'm not calling him Neek. It's weird. Nick Clifford. But
yeah, we're going Neek Clifford. It's Nick Clifford. I don't know why they spell like that, but
it is Neek Clifford. But I refuse to call him that. To me, it's too flamboyant for my liking. Just Nick Clifford. Yeah, I actually like this pick for them though. I think, they could potentially find a way into, finding a backup big man, whether that's through free agency or whatnot. But I think in terms of a player that fits their system very well and what Trae Young needs, I think Clifford is a very solid pick for them.
Your NBA champion, Indiana Pacers, are
up. I'm thinking trade here. Because I have to remember, too, that this is just not a Nets draft, and we've done minimal trading. So we're actually going to do a couple of trades here in the next couple of picks. Let's do a trade here with Charlotte. I'm going to have Charlotte move up, who got VJ Edgecombe. We're going to have them move up for Danny Wolf here, because I'm going to have OKC I would have had OKC take Danny Wolf next, which is probably going to put OKC in a position to trade back as well. So Charlotte should be at 33. So yeah, we're gonna give up 33 and
34.
Yeah, why not? Do I want to give up both? I feel like they'd rather throw in a future pick than.
You want to do 33 and a future pick?
Yeah, we could either do like 4 seconds, or we could just say a protected first. It doesn't really matter to me. We don't really need the trade details in there. They can work that shit out themselves.
23 for 33 and future
draft capital.
Picks.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Charlotte making an aggressive move up, because you kind of just need that center, right? Especially if Mark Williams does get traded. So I like Danny Wolf here.
Okay.
I really like Danny Wolf here.
Wolf, yeah.
Yeah. And then at 24 is OKC. I don't see them going point guard. I don't see them going Saraf. I don't see them going Beringer. Walter Clayton's a possibility, but realistically, I don't think they need to continue adding on picks when they have Nikola Topic coming in. Yaxel Lendeborg is no longer in the draft as of 20 minutes ago.
It's Cam Johnson. Cam Jones. I can't. Yeah,
Jones isn't a horrible pick for them.
It's not.
I just don't know.
It's a little aggressive, but no one else really makes sense here on a win now team.
Yeah.
Cam Jones is a senior. He can score. Sometimes their offense gets a little stagnant. The guy that can come off the bench, give you a little punch off the bench. I think Cam Jones, it's high for him. We've never had him going this high. It's somebody I want at 27. But
who has more picks from this moment forward between Washington and Utah?
Oh, I think Utah. Do you want to trade this pick?
Yeah. Let's go with Utah.
Can they trade him to us? Is it someone? Can we work in here and get Cam Jones?
We're 2 picks away, and we're trading that pick.
All right. Can we give him 20?
2 for
All
4
right.
today.
All right.
You're batting 500, man. Let's see. So yeah, trade pick.
We're trading this pick. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go Utah.
Wait, let me just see what Washington has. You want to see what Washington has?
No, because I also remember I put out the other day, and I've spoken to a couple of people who said Washington doesn't necessarily want to select all their picks this year because they're going to have too many rookie contracts over the next couple of years. So maybe Washington's a team that stays out of this. Yeah, go with swap the first picks, and then we'll just say future second-round draft capital. I don't think Utah gives up a first to OKC. There's no need for OKC to have another first. So like 3 or 4 seconds, that makes sense.
All right, 23 for 43 and future seconds. All right. I think that makes sense. I mean, honestly, OKC's got too many picks at this point.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Utah moves up, and this is where I can see Joan Beringer makes a ton of sense. Noah Penda makes a lot of sense, who is somebody that I was going to have us take at 26 if he was available.
So they're having Fears and Noel. They're having the draft that I wanted, but so they got a 1 and a 4.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You have Walker Kessler still there. Lowry can play the 5 if needed at times. You still have Taylor Hendricks, who's going to come back at some point. Yeah, man, go Noah Penda here. I really like that pick for them, actually. I think that's a great draft. Fears is a incredibly gifted offensive point guard. Noel, he's out there. And Penda is a high caliber defensive player. I like that a lot for them.
Orlando is back up. They took Jace Richards combo guard there. Walter Clayton. Well, they got Jace Richards.
I was going to say, I just feel like I can't see them taking 2 guards.
Yeah. They need a shooter, and they don't have any shooters. It's
a very guard heavy.
Yeah.
Top of the board right now. Yeah. Honestly,
is Hugo Gonzalez a shooter? I don't really know anything about him.
He is. It's just I add him to the list, dude. Fourth player on the list. I can't fucking stand him. I think he's horrible. Go with Addo Thiaro here.
All right.
I really like that pick for them. A seasoned vet, an upperclassman, a guy that you can plug in immediately, but just an all-around player. He's got the body of a bruiser with the floor spacing ability of a guy who can shoot 38% or more from 3. So I really like that fit for them there.
All right. 26. It's Brooklyn. Cam Jones is on the board. Beringer, Walter Clayton. You want to trade the pick?
We're gonna trade the pick. Yeah. Let's do Dallas, actually. I'm gonna switch it up. We're gonna have Dallas trade up. So we'll just say 2029 first round pick via the Lakers for the 26 overall pick.
2029 first via the Lakers. All right, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
And I honestly I think this is the Ben Surratt pick.
Yep.
Right? Because, I mean, it could have been Filan too. Now that I'm thinking about it. Better defensive point guard. Nah, I'm going to stick with it. I think Surratt makes a ton of sense for them. 6'6", can play the 1, can play the 2. He can play next to Kyrie. I like that pick for them. San Antonio is now up at 27. Joan Beringer, by far. Yep. Keep the French connection in France. All right. 28, we have the Celtics. And again, this is where it gets tough because I truly don't see these 3 players slipping into the second round, but one of them has to, between LeBaron Filan, Nolan Traore, and Maxime Reynaud. I do have
to me is Nolan Traore because Drew Holiday's shot I don't know. To me, they're taking Nolan Traore here. If this,
I agree. I mean, I think Traore is the highest upside player on the board. So yeah, I like that. And then with
he was
Phoenix
a projected
here,
top 5 guy before the season started. Like people had him on. Yeah, I didn't see it, but a lot of people had him really high on their boards.
Yeah, Phoenix at 29.
I don't know, man. This
Gotta be
is
Filan at this point. I
Yeah.
have to think. Yeah, I think you go Filan here. Because that leaves Cam Jones to go at 30 to the Clippers. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
Over the big guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they could use a little bit more offensive ability. I think their defense is really good. And then this is Minnesota. Okay.
Finally finished that first round. Minnesota.
Yeah, first round is officially done. They already got Will Riley. I mean, they could go with a Will Riley or a Walter Clayton because Nickeil Alexander-Walker is also a free agent. Doesn't not make sense. Hugo Gonzalez also could be looked at as an upside swing. Yeah, go Walter Clayton. Yeah, go Walter Clayton. I don't hate that for them. It's good value. And then this leaves Boston with Maxime Reynaud. I mean, if you walk away with Reynaud and Traore for
good draft day,
2 late picks, yeah, that's incredible value. We have Indiana up. Go with Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Okay.
Take the bigs. We'll take the bigs and the upperclassmen's high in this one. And also, I'm not going to go out of my way to do players who may or may not be in this draft right now. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. So I'm going to stick with whoever's on the board for now. Realistically, the first 40 picks is where you want to have an interest in. After that, it's kind of a free-for-all out there. But Charlotte now back up. They've gotten VJ. They've gotten Danny Wolf. Who's on the top of the board?
We still got Hugo Gonzalez.
Yeah, I like Hugo there. I like Hugo there a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And remember, Yaxel's gone, so we're not taking him now. All right, Philly's back up.
They got ace at 3. They're back on the board at 35. We don't know what Philly's doing.
Who's a little further down the board?
Nobody good anymore. Drake Powell?
I don't hate Tyrese Proctor here for them, in all honesty. A nice backup point guard. But do they need the point guard is the question.
Well, like, I mean, kind of, right? Because I don't. Max is a bad defensive player. McCain as you two. How tall is McCain? 6'3"?
I think he's 6'5".
Is McCain 6'5"? Why did I think he was 6'3"?
I think so. I don't know. Let's see.
So you got a 6'6". I think Proctor makes a tall guard that can guard 1 or 2 off the bench.
Oh no, McCain's 6'3". Yeah, he's tiny.
So you got a 6'6" guard who can come off the bench, guard 1 and 2. I would probably take Proctor here.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go Proctor. All right, and then Brooklyn's up here with their final pick of the draft. I really fucking like Bogo, man. I don't know. Bogo, Drake Powell, it really doesn't matter to me. I'll give you the pick. Bogo or Drake Powell. What would you prefer? 6'11".
We already got bigs. I'm taking. I know Drake Powell, so I'm taking. I like Drake Powell. I know you don't want the Carolina guy, but I'm taking Drake Powell.
Oh no, I don't mind him at all. Actually, so here's how I'll break it down for you. Right, 6'6" high upside defensive wing, with athleticism and untapped potential as an offensive player in Drake Powell, or you can go with your 6'11" stretch 4, who has an immense amount of untapped potential in terms of offensive ability, with some tools that need to have some fixing on the defensive end.
Can he really shoot? Can he shoot well?
He can. He kind of reminds me of Porzingis, if I'm being honest.
I'll take him. 6'11" and can shoot. Good size, good body. I guess I'm
hard,
taking him.
Right?
Yeah. You're telling me he can shoot. He's not going to come in and shoot 28% from 3, right? He can actually shoot. He can shoot as well as Tommy.
Let's see. I'll pull up the stats right now. Bogo Ajub. What a name too, man. Markovic. Stats. His international stats. This season, he's averaging 13.7 points, 2.7 assists, 6.8 rebounds, and he is shooting 37% from 3, 53% or 53.8% as a whole from the field. And that's on 29.4 minutes a night through 30 games. So
I took him.
Not bad.
Bogolachov it is.
Bogolachov, what a fucking name.
What's just happened here?
Oh no, what'd you do? Press the backspace.
No. Oh.
Facebook. Yeah, I'm not old enough for that yet. We gotta wait till I'm 30.
Wait, what happened to my draft?
Oh no. Click scroll up. You may have lost our draft, man. Click on tools. And then go to mock draft simulator. Let's see if it's saved.
Yeah.
Oh, it's saved.
We're good. Yeah, it saves. It saves.
All right, so for Detroit, I really like Drake Powell here. I think this is a really nice fit for them. Jesus Christ. This fucking team, man. All right, they got their point guard, they got their center. Who else is available down the board?
Oh, you want to see more?
Yeah. Go Alex Tui, man. I have a feeling a team's going to take him high.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Toronto at 39. They took Kneppel.
They kind of need a big, but they also could use the point guard depth, right? Do they go to Todd Pettiford or do they go Hanson Yang here? Hanson Yang on board.
Condon's out. He wouldn't go here?
Nah. I think Hanson's beat him at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, go Hanson here, man. I don't mind taking him a bit earlier than expected.
Was he made in a lab too, like Yao Ming, or is he
like Yao? I mean,
yeah.
You have to suspect it, right? And it's gotta pose the question. Washington's up at 40. They've gotten Trey Johnson and Thomas Sorber. Yeah, go Todd Pettiford here. Go continue just taking the highest upside players available.
42.
Question is it Alex Condon or is it Kobe Bria? I think that if they're going to look into a Nick Claxton possibility, Buddy Hield and Kuminga would have to be a package deal. So I think Kobe makes a little bit of sense there. So yeah, let's go with him.
Shooter.
Sack. Ugh. I mean, for Sacramento, it's such a weird pick. Because what's happening with Sabonis? Is he going to be there long term? Are they trying to build a contender right now? Chaz Leonard doesn't make sense because you have Malik Monk, Miles Bird. You're trying to move off of DeMar DeRozan. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go Alex Condon here, but I also can't see the rest of the board right now. So it's a TBA. Let's see. I can pull up my draft board actually real quick if he doesn't get back in time. Let's see. All right, we're loading into it right now. Let's see. If this fucking have you guys been using Fanspo lately and the yellow outlining keeps popping up and you can't click anything? It's a pain in the ass.
All right, sorry about that.
No, you're good. I'm contemplating who I want to take here for Sacramento because it's such a horrible pick.
On a horrible team that's going nowhere again.
Yeah.
It looked really like for a minute they had something, and then they remember they were Sacramento.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, go Alex Condon here. I really can't think of anything else for him. Yeah, maybe it's your Sabonis replacement. Jesus Christ. Go Miles Bird. It just makes too much sense. Is that OKC again? Fucking jeez.
Yeah, OKC is always on the board. Like if you don't know who picks, it's probably OKC.
Holy
OKC.
Christ. What's a team that doesn't have second round picks? Who doesn't have any more available picks? Is it Denver?
You want to see?
I got to get somebody to them. I mean, this is ridiculous for OKC.
You want to trade him to Denver? But would
Um,
OKC really trade picks to Denver when that's a cheap competitor?
No, they wouldn't.
I don't know, man. You want to sit and pick here, 44?
No, I can't have them sit and pick. It's ridiculous how many picks they have. Their organization should be forced to reset. Scroll down a little bit. Go Miami.
Miami? All right.
Yeah, let's go Miami. Why not? We're just gonna say future draft capital. Maybe like a second or two. Really shouldn't take much to get 44.
All
Yeah,
right.
Lou, that ad sucks. It's such a pain in the ass.
So Miami is up here at 44.
They took
I
Liam
guess-
McNeely.
Broom?
Mm-mm. No, who's a little further down the board?
Rocco Zarowski.
That's who I was eyeing.
Okay.
I also don't hate Sion James though. Who else is down there?
Nobody good.
Yeah, no. Yeah, go Rocco. No, don't. No, because they have Khalil Ware and they have Bam. It's a lot of bigs over there. Go Chaz Lanier. Fuck it.
All right.
Just give him somebody. It's a Miami guy, you know? Chicago. This is my Rocco Zagarski pick for sure. They got a Senge. Go get your big, your Vucevic replacement. And then for Orlando, I'll probably go Sion James here. I like that pick for them. 3-and-D guy, just like Ado Thiaro. Milwaukee is up. Oh my God. Rocco's gone. Hanson's gone. Pettiford's gone. All the youthful upside players are gone. That is so bad. I mean, this is.
Do they
quite
have a
literally
point
the worst.
guard? Because Ari Richmond, Caleb Love, do they have a point guard?
They really don't.
So who all right, you want to do that? I mean, who do you like? Who would you take? Love
Give him Kadari. Fuck it. Why not?
All right.
I'll have him
St.
go high in
John's
this
guy
one. I love
goes
him,
off the
man.
board.
Crazy part is he's probably going to end up an undrafted free agent, which is crazy. Memphis is up. This just screams Janai Broom, right?
He's got to go at some point. I mean, he's not going to go undrafted. Yeah.
Yeah, give him Janai Broom. Why not? I think he's one of those 5 players as well that I just can't stand. Cleveland is up. Micah Peavy is not a bad option here. Yeah, go Micah Peavy. And then this is oh God. All right, give him RJ Lewis. It just makes
Just
sense.
keep him home. Keep him in the
It
garden.
makes sense. Clips. Is there any centers on the board available? Give him Michael Ruzick.
Okay.
He's the tallest on the board. Yeah, why not? Now we got a bunch of guards. Baron Filan, where did we have him go? Phoenix. Give him Dink Pate. Give him an upside player as well. And then from here on out, it's pretty much just a free for all for mediocrity.
Is it? You know, it's 7-8 picks up in the draft.
Yeah, you have to go with your suspect. Give Utah Peyton Sanford. We already know how this works.
Oh yeah, got to. They got to have one.
Yep.
One of the good old boys.
Always have to have one. Indiana, give them Hunter Salas.
Yep.
I like that pick for them a lot. Okay, that's horrible. Just a reminder too. After pick 45, this becomes completely inaccurate, simply just because of the lack of players Fanspo has available, and now Yaxel Lendeborg screwing our draft as well. Give him Aaron Scott. Makes sense. They need a wing. Yeah, this is just horrible.
Is Lendeborg going back to UAB or is he going in the transfer portal?
No, he's going to Michigan. He's going to be.
Going to Michigan.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a forfeited pick, but give them Caleb Love. I mean, if they were to land those two, it would make a lot of sense. What is this now? Memphis again?
Memphis at 57. They have Johni Broome so far.
Oh, that's horrible. I mean, none of these guys are even draft eligible, I'm pretty sure. Scroll down the board, because none of these guys I had on there. This is now officially back into uncharted territory. Yeah, there's not a single name that I'm eyeing right now that looks like they're heading into the draft.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Last couple of picks are going to have to be determined, because there's really nothing that I can do. I mean, I can look up a couple of players' names. It's just this is likely not the range of pick they would go. Let's see. This is 1 day ago from Sports Illustrated. They have Brooklyn getting Fears at 8. Ooh, look at that. They have Brooklyn taking Noah Penda at 19. That's horrible. And then they have us taking Ben Seraph and Joan Berenger. Interesting. And then Michael Ruzick at 36. That's horrible. They still have Jameer Watkins in these, which is surprising because he was one of my favorite second-round prospects, but I thought he was heading back to Florida State. So yeah, just find Jameer Watkins. He should be towards the bottom.
What position does he play? It'll be easy to search by position.
Forward. I think you should find him in the small forward section.
There he is.
Hey, Jameer. There we go. Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to have to just kind of make shit up at this point.
Yeah.
The last couple of picks, but is Jonah Grunlow available? I have no clue what position that guy is.
Grunlow?
Yeah. It looks like it goes in first name alphabetical order. So it's Jonah with a J.
I ain't got him.
No? Okay. What about Kobe Sanders? Kobe Sanders is a name I'm pretty sure is on this board.
Kobe with a K?
Kobe with a K.
I got no Kobe's.
Nah. Oh, because you're still stuck in forwards.
Oh. That's why.
That would explain this, yep. So is Jonah Grunlow there?
Let me see.
Go to them Jays. Let's see.
Jonah Grunlow, there he is. All right.
It says German. All right, yeah, take him. Why not? And then for the next pick, we'll go Kobe Sanders. No clue where this is heading.
Oh, I got Kobe Johnson, no Kobe Sanders.
There it is. That's Kobe Sanders today. Take him. Why not?
Right.
And yeah, whatever. Just take KJ Lewis, and that's going to be Otego Wu today. Why not? Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks that Fanspo refuses to update its draft boards, but realistically, from picks 1 through, I would say 45 is where you could see the accuracy range. I mean, there could be a guy or two that isn't on here that could be in that range, like Miles Uzan. There's this one dude, I'm not even going to try pronounce the name. I think it's like, let's see. Sergio Delaria's on here. It's Nicolas Avdelas, international player. Butchering the name, but he's getting projections now into the early second round. So there's possibilities that a lot of guys on here aren't going to be drafted around that like 46 through 60 range. But yeah, there's the draft. I mean, we were able to complete the whole 15 through 60 within a 45-minute span.
Yeah, we got off to a little bit of a slow start, but we got cooking.
It was a bit slow, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, if you are the Nets and you get to walk away with Kaman Maluak, Igor Demin, Cedric Howard, and Bogo, that's a really good draft.
So yeah, let's recap that. It's Maluak at 8, and then we traded up. We traded Cam Johnson to get Igor Demin at 14, and then we sat and picked that Cedric Howard at 19, who I don't know who that is really, besides these mock drafts. And then we traded 27.
No, we traded 27 and Cam Johnson for
Yeah.
14. We traded 26.
26 for a future pick.
Yeah, who did that go to? Was it Dallas? It was Dallas.
Dallas, yeah, we get the Dallas pick via the Lakers.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
then
that's a
we
great
took
draft.
Bogle up at 36.
That's a great draft. I can't
Guess
complain
so.
with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting 3 guys that are 6'9" and
9
above. That's
and
fucking
above.
scary. That's like uncharted territory for Sean
And then
Marks.
Cedric Coward. I mean, all right. Well, I mean, we can rock out with this. I'm good with this.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right.
Think we're good.
When do you want to? When will we be back on the air?
Unfortunately, I'm being forced to a Mets game today.
There you go.
No,
Let's go Mets.
No, I'm wearing my Judge jersey. So yeah, I don't. Let's say probably. Let's say Thursday. For
Is it
now,
Thursday?
I may have to keep you updated on that, but yeah.
All right.
Thursday
What does it say? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
So we'll say Thursday or Friday. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thursday,
works.
but we'll shoot for Thursday. But Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Take it away. I can't take away the outro.
Canoli, this is a disaster today. Canoli, it's all right. You don't got to bark at the mailman lady. Just relax.
Mailman
All
lady.
Right. That's what I call my daughter always makes me a mailman lady. Save drafts. You want the draft saves?
Yeah, go for it.
5/27 Nets trade up to 14.
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Post.
Awesome.
All right. From Texas to the world. Thank y'all and God bless.
Later.